So I made a video where I talked about the struggles, the financial struggles that people are going through and the reasons for them going through those struggles, mostly because of how this system is set up. And I said in the video basically that people should be able to enjoy pleasures in life. They should be able to treat themselves even if they are going through financial issues. And as a person with a chronic illness, I firmly believe that, tomorrow's not promised. Enjoy your life while you can, because guess what? You could spend your whole life, your entire life, trying to catch up on bills and trying to do this and trying to do that. And what was all of your life for if at the end of it you never enjoyed yourself and you just tried to play catch up in this system that is designed so that most people will never be able to catch up? So anyway, I posted this video because I know so many people's lived experience, so many people that I love, in fact, and care about, and how they are struggling. And people were calling me poor, they were calling me fat. And listen, I'm not poor, and actually there's nothing wrong with being poor. I was poor as a child, but I am fat, so you got me there. I'm 5'7" and I'm like 207 pounds. You got me there. But another thing that I noticed is that people really don't like for poor people to be happy, to have joy, to be poor and still enjoy things. And that's so weird. Like the comments were just like, oh, you're poor, you shouldn't do anything. You should just live in a studio and eat beans and ramen. You don't deserve an iced coffee, drink water. You can't order DoorDash when you're tired. You work 4 jobs and you come home and you still cook. You have 4 jobs or you're making excuses. You should get 6.
There's a number of things that I want to dive into here, but before I get into my thoughts, I want to welcome you to get in the comments and share your thoughts on what she said so far. I paused it. We're going to get back into it in a minute, but there are 2 things that I want to touch on here that stand out to me. The first is she's making this point of people not wanting to see poor people happy, and that's wrong. That's wrong. The reason why people are telling people who are struggling financially that they need to hold off on enjoying some of these luxuries of life is because they are trapped in poverty. They are trapped and struggling financially. We are trying to help them avoid the debt trap. We don't want these people to stay stuck in poverty. Like, that's the issue. It's not about, oh, you can't have fun. Oh, you can't enjoy yourself. It's the fact that these luxuries are not for people who are struggling financially. You have people who are struggling financially trying to enjoy the luxuries of life that are not really for them. Like, it's as simple as that. And I think that the core issue here is that people do not want to delay gratification. If you are in poverty, if you are poor, or if you are struggling financially, in order for you to get out of debt, in order for you to get out of those financial hardships and issues that you're dealing with, you need to put yourself in a position where there's a period of your life where you're going to have to make sacrifices so that you can build up your wealth. And part of that sacrifice is foregoing luxuries that other people can enjoy. She talked about having a chronic illness, but that's not what every person is going through. The life expectancy of most people is pretty long, which means that they have many years, decades to go through life, build up wealth. And if you do that, if you can just sacrifice for even 1 decade, there's so many more decades where you will be able to enjoy the luxuries of life. But that's never going to happen if you adapt this mindset of, I always got to do what I want to do, what makes me happy, what I want to enjoy. If you put enjoyment over getting out of financial debt and struggles, then you're more than likely going to stay stuck. But that's my thoughts. Let's get back to what she had to say.
And I'm thinking, like, what is this? What is the psychology? What is the psychology behind people believing that if a person is not as financially secure as someone else, that they don't get to enjoy life? I really feel like that's it's so sinister. Let me tell you something. I don't care what your financial situation is. None of us can take any of this stuff with us. You enjoy your life the best you can, and don't you ever feel guilty about it. You don't need an excuse to enjoy your life. We are for sure given this one life. You enjoy it. And don't you care about what random people on the internet that are not paying your bills, that are not helping you in any way, have to say about it? Because I'm going to enjoy my life and I'm going to be fat and jolly. Well, at least until the Zep bound kicks in, I guess. And if I don't feel like cooking, guess what? I'm going to order DoorDash. I'm going to do that. And you should too. And the people that are upset about it, guess what? Worry about yourself, because no one is asking you for money, boo. We're not asking you for money. And I know there's going to be a person that says, oh, well, my tax dollars are paying for. Half of the people that are going through financial struggles work. They work a lot, they work hard, and guess what? They do not have any type of government benefits. So anyway, the point of this video was just to let people know you don't need anyone's permission to enjoy your life. We only have one.
I get the point that this lady's trying to make, but I think she's missing the bigger point. And I'm going to get into that. But first, again, get in the comment section and let me know what you think of everything that she said so far. Share your thoughts by all means. Here's my take. I feel like her advice is irresponsible, right? She already mentioned early in the video that she's not poor, but she's advising poor people to essentially put themselves further in debt. If you're struggling financial, it doesn't matter. Go on that vacation, buy that DoorDash, spend money on things that you really don't need to be spending money on if you're not in a financial position to be able to do so without it putting you further in debt or keeping you trapped where you cannot get out of that debt trap. That is what so many Americans are dealing with. They got consumer debt, they got student loan debt, they got debt out of their eyeballs. And if we keep telling people, go ahead and get that car. It doesn't matter if you put yourself in a whole bunch of debt. Go ahead and get that house. It doesn't matter if you put yourself in debt. Go ahead and go to that college and get a degree that's not going to make you any money and just put yourself in that debt. Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter. Just put that vacation on that credit card and just go have that fun. Why? Because somebody is telling you that life is short and you should do that. Guess what happens for most people? Most people that adopt that, you only live once, life is so short. Those are usually the people who end up living longer lives and they look back and be like, damn, the majority of my life, you've been struggling financially because you adapted a mindset like this. When if you would have just said, hey, you know what? I will, right? You will attain those things at some point in your life. But if you're not in that position, if you currently have debt, if you currently are in a position where you're struggling financially, your primary objective should be how to get out. Your focus should be on, if you already don't have one, develop a plan and a strategy, starting with as simple as budgeting. And this is why you can tell people like this, they don't follow simple financial principles to build wealth. Because a person that understands the importance of budgeting, they're not going to advise people to spend money frivolously because they want you to enjoy life. No. You should be able to get things that are within your budget. If you're not budgeting, that's step number one. That's step number one. It's so elementary. If you're not budgeting and knowing how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, start right there. And another thing I want to address is she talked about, people being worried about people like this. I'm going to be honest with you. People who are not financially struggling, we're not worried about you. Like if you are in poverty, if you're poor and you're struggling financially, we're not worried about you. And the reason why we're not worried about you coming and asking us for money is because if you do, we're just going to say no. What we are willing to do is help you by providing you with the same steps and the same strategies and the same plans that work for us to be able to get out of those hard financial positions that we use to be able to get out of debt, get ourselves in a position where we can actually start to build wealth. And I got to be honest, when we see more people online that are taking this position, it just really gets us to the point where, ready to just wipe our hands. Why? Because people don't want to listen. People are just going to do what they're going to do. And that's cool. We always know that there's typically going to be this class divide where you're going to have poor people, you're going to have middle class, and you're going to have people that are rich, that have wealth. And this is the beautiful thing about it. We live in a capitalist society, which so many people like to look at as a negative thing, but it's not. When you live in a capitalist society, especially the one that we live in here in America, it means that every person is afforded the opportunity to become rich, to build wealth. Nothing is stopping people other than the mindset that they have. The mindset is the biggest block for a lot of people. If you think as a poor person that you can't ever become rich or wealthy, then you really have not studied history and seen how many people went from nothing and became millionaires, and in some cases even billionaires. But it's not even about chasing that. For some people, they would just be happy to get from poor to middle class. And I know some people would be like, well, the middle class is gone. Well, however you define it, being in a position where you don't have to worry about struggling, where you can enjoy the things in life like this lady is talking about, that's available to everybody. The first step is budgeting, knowing how much money you got coming in and how much money you got going out. Then, if you realize that, hey, man, you got more going out than you got coming in, then the next thing you need to do is figure out how can you either increase the money that's coming in or decrease the money that's going out, or ideally do both. That is where you begin to take steps toward building wealth. It's not hard. It's not easy, but it's simple. The question is, are most people willing to do it? And we can look around us and see that most people are not. And that's the reason why it always seems like there's so few people that are rich, like the few, and then the masses are the poor. It's all because of the mindset. It's the mindset. People are not willing to do the quote unquote hard thing, which isn't, again, really hard. Budgeting is not hard. Identifying a way that you can make more money is not hard with the skill set that you have. Figuring out how to cut back and sacrifice, it's not hard in practice. What it is hard is when people actually are unwilling to do it, because the mindset that they live in is that they should enjoy their life right now in the moment. They shouldn't have to make any sacrifices or have to do anything and try to survive. It's a mindset issue. That's my thoughts. We'll love to hear yours in the comments if you like to share them. Until next time, I'm Jay. Stay blessed.